So, not gonna lie, a little frustrated. Um, so, I decided at the beginning of my business that I wasn't going to go into any debt. That I didn't want to owe anybody anything for this business. I felt like that was probably the best way to handle it, and it is. But it means I don't buy brand new mowers. I buy older equipment. So I've got two walk behinds. They're both Toro Pro lines. One's a 52 inch, the other's a 36. They're both right around 20 years old. And they've still got the original engines on them and all that kind of stuff. So the thing about having those older mowers is I was able to get them for cheaper. I paid $360 for one, and I paid $600 for the other one, which was great deals. But the reason they were so cheap is because they both need a lot of parts. The 36-inch mower, that needed a new clutch immediately. That's a $350 part. Needed new blades. One of them was cracked, so that was another $60 that I spent. What else? I've had to replace the tires, the ignition module, the bail switch, the boot switch. Obviously the oil. I'm not even gonna complain about that. But last year I bought right around $700 worth of parts, and then I had to do work to it, like the deck needed to be welded. All said and done, I spent almost $2,000 maintaining that mower. Now, some would say, well, you should have just spent the money to get a brand new machine. Well, I didn't have that at the beginning of the season, but I did have $2,000 spread out over the course of the season to make the necessary fixes. So now the 52 inch, I bought that and immediately had to buy new blades. Ended up having to buy a new carburetor for it. Whatever. That machine I've had for 3 months now, and I probably put $300 or $400 into it. At this exact moment, the recoil starter assembly on the 52-inch mower broke. The plastic part that holds I think it's called the dog ears on, snapped, and they don't sell replacement parts for that assembly anymore, so you got to buy a brand new one. So, and that kind of brings me to why I'm making this video. So I went to the dealer that's near my house. They have the recoil. They don't have that recoil starter in stock, and to get it brand new from Kohler would cost $125. Well, that's ridiculous. It's a recoil. It's not, that's way too much money. So I told them, well, I can get it for $50 on Amazon, but I need it, I need it quick. So, and the guy said, well, I'll tell you what. He said, I've got a bunch of old Kohler engines downstairs. I can't go right now because I'm the only one here. Let me take a look, see if I've got one. I'll sell it to you for like $10. All right, great. So that's been 14 days. And 3 phone calls ago. And I gotta tell you, man, these dealerships are losing a lot of money because of the service that they're giving. You should be treating, this is just my opinion, you should be treating people like me, people who are using old equipment and fixing it as it breaks, you should be treating me better. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the past 2 years, last year and between last year and this year, I've spent probably around $3 or $4 grand on parts. And of that $3 or $4 grand that I've spent, I've only spent maybe 400 of it at my local dealer. I would like to spend all of it at my local dealer, but when I go to them for parts, one of two things happen. They either can't get it at all. I don't know why. If I can get it, I don't understand why they can't get it. But then when they can get it, they want to charge me for shipping. So, which, you know, sometimes I've even been willing to do that. When I needed the ignition module, I needed it immediately. So it was a $40 ignition module that they were going to charge me $60 for, and then they were going to charge me another $30 to have it overnighted. So I paid it. I paid $90 for a $30, $40 ignition module. I showed up the next day. They forgot to order it. You know, and then, you know, with this recoil, fortunately both my mowers, a lot of the parts are swappable on it. So I've just been using the same recoil on both mowers, just swapping them out using the impact gun. But, you know, what I'm saying is I've got a lot of money that I want to spend at a dealer, but they don't have the parts I need. And they're not willing to stock them, and they're not willing, and when they do order them, they want to pass on all the cost to me. You know, if it's going to take you 5 days to get a part and you're going to charge me $15 shipping when I can get the same part for cheaper on Amazon with free shipping, that doesn't make sense. You know, so it's just, if there's any dealers out there watching this, and you know, I'm sure you guys have other things to consider besides this, but I'm just telling you, man, you're losing a lot of money from people like me who are maintaining older equipment. There's a dealer opened up right next to my house, well, not about a half mile from my house. I've been there 6 times. They never have what I need, and they're not interested in ordering it. Well, I'm not going to go to that place anymore, you know. The only dealer that in my area that I feel like does a good job is Jack's Small Engines, but they're almost an hour away from me, so it's really kind of difficult to utilize them, even though I really like to. So I guess my point in making this video is, if you're a dealer, you should really take better care of people like me because I could bring you a lot of money, man. You know, I'm not going anywhere. This is how I support my family, is with this business. And so I'm not gonna, this isn't like I'm just in it for a couple weeks and then realizing I don't like it and moving on. I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm maintaining the equipment I have. So if you treat me good, there's a lot of money coming your way, but you're not. And so instead Amazon's getting it, you know. So that's been bothering me, and I wanted to put it out there because, you know, my dealer was promising me a recoil off one of the engines in his basement, but I can't wait and spend 2 weeks. So I spent the $45 on Amazon, and I got the recoil from Amazon. And because I did that, the dealer will probably call me tomorrow. But well, so this has been Randy with Dual and Cut and Trim. If anybody on here is a dealer and they're watching this and they've got some insight, I'd love to hear it, because honestly, the situation really does frustrate me. But thanks for watching.